All right. Thanks everyone for joining today's session. So today we'll be looking at those that wants to transition into to become a product manager and any other roles that is attached to that as well. All right. So, but before we dive into the agenda of today, I'm going to be introducing myself, the company, and also I have a few slides to share. And after that, I'll be calling on the facilitator that will take you on the journey if you are to enroll. And finally, we'll take questions and answer. So if you have any questions and answer, please wait till the end of the session. You can signify by raising your hand to ask the question, and I'm going to unmute you. Also, you can drop your question on the chat as well. But I'd like to hear your voice, so I'll actually prefer the first one by signifying, raising your hand, and we can have a chat together. All right, so without further ado, one second. Uh, all right, so without further ado, let's get started. So my name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride is a UK-based company, but we have students all around the world. We focus in helping people that wants to transition from either non-IT background or non-technical background into the IT space. So we run different IT trainings, like 7 or 8 different ones, ranging from project management to business analysis, Scrum Master, data analysis, software testing, DevOps engineer, product management, just to name a few, web development, and so on and so forth. So why are we different? We are different because we focus on what is important. We don't beat around the bush, we focus on a day in the life of a product manager. If you are to get a job tomorrow, what is expected of you? How are you going to function on that job? So that is what we focus on. We focus on practical training and getting your hands dirty. So we don't dwell too much on theories and all of that. We focus on we prepare you, we equip you, so as to, when you start applying for a job, you can be able to compete with people who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2, 3 years. So that is how we equip you. So we concentrate more on practicals. And also, you also have the opportunity to work on a project as well, a live project as well, which will expose you to how things are done, especially in an agile environment. So that's what we do. About the company has been going strong for over 4 years now. And over that 4 years, over 20,000 students or over 20,000 people has passed through this academy. And I'm going to be showing you the stats of that later on as well. Also, so as regarding me, as I introduced myself earlier on, my name is Akin Oladeji, but I transitioned as well. My background was in accounting. I also have masters in accounting and finance. But it got to a stage that I was tired with what I was doing. I needed a change. I don't know what to transition into. My background was non-IT, non-technical, nothing. All I knew was, debit and credit, balance sheet, trial balance, and all of that. But I was tired. And the first one I stumbled upon was software automation engineer, which involves coding, which involves you writing codes in programming language like C Sharp, to automate a website, which I have no clue about. But I asked that question, can someone embark on this journey? You know, Not only embark on the journey, at the end of the journey, you are good enough to start applying for a job. And the guy told me, if you are well determined, there's nothing impossible for you to achieve, And that was how I started on the journey. 2 weeks after I finished that program, it was a 3-month program. 2 weeks after I finished that program, I secured my very first role. And my very first role was not even an ordinary role, it was a senior role. My first role was a senior automation engineer role. This was someone who just completed a 3-month course, and that's changed everything in my life. And, it's from there that, Learn with Pride was finally formed, and it's all story today. So that is why I know that with determination, with hard work, and with you having the right people by your side, to support you. You need the support when you're going through transition. You know, you can achieve whatever you set your mind to achieve. There's nothing impossible to achieve. And right now is the best time. Why? Because the jobs are out there. Since after COVID, things has changed rapidly in the IT industry. You now have the opportunity to work remotely. You have the opportunity to work with foreign companies, despite the fact that you might live in, let's say, Nigeria or Ghana or Zimbabwe. You can secure a remote job with a company in Hungary, Malta, UK, Australia. Why? Because they are looking for people, who can do the job. And why are they looking, beyond their region? Why are they looking to hire people from Asia or from Africa? It is because they believe they are getting um, two for the price of one. What's supposed to cost them, let's say, £500 per day in the UK. If they go to Asia or if they go to Africa, maybe it will only cost them £150 a day. Let's use Nigeria as an example. If you get even if they are paying £150 a day, in Nigerian currency, if you should change that right now, that should be around 200,000 naira per day that you are getting. So that is still a win-win for everyone. They think they are saving money, but on the other end, you are still making a cool cash as well. And at the moment, people wants to work smart. Everybody is tired of, working hard. A typical example again would be like a nurse that needs to go into work every day. They need to go and do their shift, whether it's a 12-hour shift or 14-hour shift. There's no way they can work remotely. Despite the fact that they are getting the money, or a caregiver or a carer, they have to physically go in. Despite the fact that they are working 6 days, 60 hours, they are getting the money, but they are really working hard for that money. That is when you see them maybe on their off days, they can't even go anywhere because they are so tired that they just want to rest. And the money they are making, other people will be spending it. You don't want that. You want to be in good health for you to spend the money that you're making as well. That is why people in IT now, you see people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs in IT. Why? How can they do 2 jobs, 3 jobs? You see one, maybe they take a permanent role as a product manager. They take a second role, maybe as a scrum master. They just have the 2, 3 different jobs. How can they cope? Why? And as in, how possible is that? It's because, when you know your onions, you can plan, what to do. You can have the time for your family. You can have the time to do school runs. You can have the time to take your car to the mechanic. And it's not like you are not working. You are still working. You are just working, as you go, maybe attending meetings. You can attend meetings from your phone, not necessarily on a laptop. So maybe in an 8-hour shift or 9-hour shift, maybe 4, 5 hours, you are from one meeting to the other. That is why they are able to do 2 jobs, 3 jobs at the same time, and they are working smart. I know someone that is doing 2 jobs and he has never worked beyond 5 p.m. for those 2 jobs. Exactly 5 p.m., he shut down his laptop. He's done for the day for 2 jobs, But that is what you want to be able to achieve at the end of the day. Again, it doesn't matter whether you live in the UK or you live in Canada or you live in Australia. It doesn't matter now, especially in IT. You can be anywhere as long as you can demonstrate that you can do the job. You can secure job remotely. There are sites dedicated for that you can get a freelance job, whether it's a 3 months job, 4 months job, 5 months job, that you can get such as well. So there's no better time than now for anyone that wants to transition into this space. There are loads of jobs out there. And at the end of this particular program, product management, there are different roles that you'll be able to apply for. Different roles that you'll be able to apply for after you acquire the knowledge on this program, All right, let's go through my slide quickly so that I don't waste too much of your time. About product management. Why product management? Again, I'm going to be using UK as a point of reference because that is where we are. The average salary when you're considering a product manager in the UK, you're looking around 50,000, 55,000 and above. And if you are considering a contract role, you're looking from maybe 350 a day, 400 pounds, 500 pounds, 600 pounds a day. And don't forget that the average salary for 60% living in the UK is between 18,000 and 35,000. That is what majority gets, 60%. That is what they are on, from 18,000 to 35,000. That's the range, popular range, that majority falls within. And you completing a 4-month training, you can command even beyond that. You can command a 50,000 pounds role. You can command a 400 pounds a day job. If you're getting 400 pounds a day, that is 8,000 pounds a month. Even if the contract is for 4 months, the money that you are getting in that 4 months, some people are not getting it in a year, So it is no brainer because at the end of the 4 months, the money you invest to get equipped, to get the right knowledge for you to start applying as a product manager might be what you start earning per day when you finally secure your role. So we're going to talk more about that later on, but that is the average salary this is going for in the UK. Again, I'm using UK as a point of reference, but this is applicable any part of the country. It's one of the well-paid jobs out there as well. All right, so let's move on. Again, you can work remotely from any part of the world. Since after COVID, things has changed. This is one of the benefits that, COVID actually brings away, ability to enable employers to see that, people can work remotely. They don't need to physically be present at work before they deliver, whatever they need to do, You can trust people, to do the job. And because companies are looking for cheap labor, they want to get 3 for the price of 1. Again, they are looking outside the shore of their country. That is why they are looking to Asia, looking to hire from Asia, looking to hire from Africa because they believe they can get it cheap compared to if they get someone from their own country. But again, whether they are looking for the 3 for the price of 1, it's none of your business because when you still convert that money to your local currency, that is still a lot of money. And that will be the lowest that you ever get because by the time you've done 1 or 2, you can command how much you get. You can say, you know what, I can't, if they offer you any money, you can tell them, you know what, the least I can take is maybe 300 pounds a day. Because at that time, you know your worth. You've acquired more knowledge on the job and you can defend whatever that is put in front of you. So there'll come a time that you command what you get as well in this industry, So, and it's in high demand. If it's not in high demand, you won't see people doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs. It's because there are not enough people like you to take on the job. That is why they are able to, take 2 jobs, 3 jobs. All right, so if you are to come on the journey, what is the structure? What will be the roadmap if you are to come on this journey? Let's take a look at that quickly. All right, so the training is going to be a 4-month training, which will run 3 times a week. So this is not a crash course. This is very intense. It will run 3 times a week. That will be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for 4 months. That is the structure so that by the time you are done with the training, you know what you are doing. By the time you are done with the training, you can confidently say, you know what, at least I know 60%. I can defend 60%, and I'm comfortable enough to start applying for jobs. That is where we want you to be. That is why we don't make ours a crash course of 1 month or of 6 weeks. No. We want you to know all that is required to know as well. So that is the training. That will be the structure. It will run 3 times a week for 4 months. Also, as part of the journey uh, that you're going to embark on, you're also going to be exposed to a live project. This live project might come, so this will be another 2 months. So this might start before the end of your 4 months duration, or it might be at the end of your 4 months duration. It could be either. But all you have to note is, as part of your journey, you are going to embark on a live project as well. When I say live project, I mean live project that will involve a full Scrum team. You have your developer, your product manager, your business analyst, your tester, and all of that. A full team, and all of you are working together to, deliver a solution for a client. So that is part of what you are going to be exposed with as well. So you've done the training, you've gone through the training, you've gone through the project. Another point or another stage that is equally as important is the optimization of your brand. You need to optimize your brand. And what is your brand? Your brand is your CV, your brand is your LinkedIn. Because if you finish the training, you've done the training, you've done the project, now you can actually say you can function well as a product manager, but you're not getting the calls. Why are you not getting the calls? You're not getting the calls because you are not visible in the market. Nobody can see you. And if they cannot see you, they cannot employ you. That is why you have to be seen. And the ways you can be seen is by, optimization of your, doing your CV, revamping your CV and optimizing your LinkedIn account, your LinkedIn page as well. Especially for those that wants to start applying for international jobs, you need to revamp your CV to international standards. Also, LinkedIn, you need to be in that space as well, because LinkedIn has become one of the most common, popular place that recruiters, employers goes to, to look for qualified candidates like you. So you have to be there. You need to be there. I cannot overemphasize how important this stage is. As I said, it's as important as the training itself and as the project itself. So you need to get it right. And when you get it right, you can be rest assured that you start getting calls. You know, After your CV has been done, you can start uploading them on different job sites. Not only uploading them on different job sites, you need to make them searchable, because it's not all jobs that are posted online. Some recruiters, just want to go on different job sites just to look for right candidates. They don't post their job. And if you don't make your CV searchable, they won't be able to see you or find you. That is why it is important. It's part of what we are going to be showing you how to do it on the journey as well. So it's very, very important. And when all these things are done, you start applying for jobs, recruiters start, they start approaching you, calling you. We saw your CV on so. Are you still in the market? Same thing on LinkedIn. We saw your profile on LinkedIn. Are you still in the market? And then, as much, as the calls are coming in, you can be rest assured that they'll start putting you forward for interviews. And this is another stage that we help with as well, because at the end of the day, your success is our success. So we need to support you as much as possible. And as part of our support, we do interview preparation with you, so that you can go in for that interview with confidence and with the mind that this job is mine. While on this point, quickly, let me just quickly make mention of the benefit that is attached to enrolling on this program. So you get the practical training, which is for 4 months. After the practical training, also you'll be exposed to a live project for another 2 months, where you work with a full Scrum team. Aside that, you get the mentorship, you get the support, you get the interview preparation, and also all our courses are CPD accredited. meaning the certificate that you get at the end of this program is recognized in over 60 countries. And finally, we give you a work reference for the duration that you are with us. So those are the things that you get on this journey. For CV and LinkedIn optimization, we don't actually do that. But because we don't do that doesn't mean we won't help with that. So we partner with one of the best in the industry that for any student that comes from Learn with Pride, they give you 70% discount. So they do the CV, the LinkedIn, and the cover letter. Those three, they do it for you for a very cheap amount, just because of the negotiation we had with them as well. Kende, this session is being recorded at the moment. It will be made available on our YouTube channel, or if you are on our WhatsApp group as well, it will be shared on our WhatsApp group. So for anyone that wants the recording of this session, please go on YouTube. I'm going to put it on the chat now, and follow us on YouTube at Learn with Pride. So just search for Learn with Pride on YouTube, at Learn with Pride on YouTube. All right, so just search for Learn with Pride on YouTube. Follow us. The moment we upload the video, and click on the bell icon. The moment we upload the video by tomorrow, you're going to be notified and you can watch the recording as well. Also, if you're on the group chat, it will be shared on the group chat as well. All right, so those are the benefits that comes with the package, but let me mention, the moment you enroll with us, is like you are signing a partnership deal with us. And this partnership will be 50-50, no cheating. The first 50% will come from us, and that is us providing you with the right skills, providing you with the right tools, mentorship, support, and all of that. We do our own bit. But if we want to attain success at the end of the day, you also need to do your own 50. And that is you going above and beyond what has been covered in class. That is you getting your hands dirty. That is you dedicating a certain hours to the process every single day for the duration of the program. Because at the end of the day, your input will be equals to your output. If you do all these things, and also on the project, you don't take the back seat. You are active, you are proactive on the project, you are always willing to learn. And you attaining your 50%, that means at the end of the 4 months program, we can both attain 100%. The moment we attain that 100%, you can be rest assured that now that you know enough and you are good to go. So this journey is not only, for Learn with Pride, or just us providing you with the tools, with everything that is needed for you to succeed. You have to do your own bit as well. That is why I said the moment you enroll, you are signing like a partnership deal with us, that on this journey, we are going to be equal. You are going to, distribute everything equally, 50-50. And I promise you at the end of the program, you'll be shocked at what you've achieved if you do your own bit as well. All right, enough of my talk. Quickly, let's look at the start of the company. From 2020 till date, as I said earlier on, over 20,000 students has passed through this academy. The next slide is, this is not updated. This is from January 2023 till June. So some courses are not showing on air, but this is just the breakdown of the enrollments we've had from January 2023 till June 2023. And all in all, 85% of our students are working. 50% working in the public sector, 35% in the private sector, and 15% are job ready. While on this point as well, another good thing we do is also the moment you enroll, you become part of a family, because you need people at your corner, especially when you're going through transitioning. You need people you can run to. Even after you secure your first job, you might be stuck at work. Who do you go to? That is why what we are creating is a community. It's more than the training. It's an avenue for you to mingle with other people because you never know who is who tomorrow. So we have a platform called an alumni platform that you can join as well. The alumni platform consists of people who are currently working and those who are still actively searching as well. So if you join those groups, you can be rest assured, eventually when you get a job, you have a community to fall back on, someone where to go to share the problem, and you can be rest assured that you are going to be provided with a solution. That is another good thing of joining. So it's not like a student company relationship. We do better than that. 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you can confidently, still walk back or call at any time, and they won't say, oh, you are no longer with us. We can't do this for you. We can't do that for you. Our doors are always open. Our doors are always open. And, it's if you can take advantage of that, that would be great as well. Because as I said, you need it. You need people. It's like a boxing match. They always have people at their corner, their their coach and the other team. Same thing when you are going through transitioning as well. You need people at your corner. You need people to fall back on as well. So quickly, let's look at the sample jobs. I actually got these jobs online today. If you can see the date. Yeah, this was posted on the 12th. We actually got it online today. You'll be wondering that 100 and this is 6 figures. Yes, it is a 6-figure salary. You can get it. The people getting it, they don't have 2 heads, I tell you. And, it is only in IT jobs that you don't have to go back to uni for another 3-4 years to go and study. You don't have to do that. The question in the mind of many people will be, can someone who actually, you've only gone through 4 months training, can they actually be fit enough to apply for such jobs at the end of the program? Yes, you can. Even if you are not getting up to 120,000, you can get from 50, 60, 70,000. But again, for those who are doing like 2 jobs, you can be rest assured that they are getting more than 120,000. And there's nothing, if your job is remote, you know your onions, you know how to do your job, there's nothing stopping you from getting 2 jobs as long as they are remote. Your combined salary for both jobs might even be higher than this, 120,000 pounds. So majority will ask, as I said, what is the chances? The answer to that question is you can never know what is at the other end of the tunnel if you haven't, gone through the tunnel itself. That is why you need to equip yourself with the right skill, equip yourself with the right knowledge. And when you get outside of the tunnel, you too can start competing with those out there. You cannot compete for something you know nothing about. Even if they are paying 200,000 pounds per month or per year, you cannot because you have no clue about what they are doing. But the moment you have a clue about what they are doing, yes, you are in a competition as well, and you can start applying. Many people will procrastinate. That is one of the major problems that we have, that, you know what, I love this thing. It sounds really nice, but I'll do it tomorrow. I'll wait till next year. It will be my New Year resolution next year. What we fail to understand is next year never comes. When we get to 2024, 2025 is around the corner before you know it. 2026 is around the corner before you know it. Time waits for no one. That is why it is important, whatever you want to do, put your mind to it and just make a start. The moment you make a start, anything you've started, surely you must finish it. But if you've not, if you haven't started, then you continue to procrastinate. You know what? I'll do it in November. My bills for this month is just too much. I'll do it in December. Or let me just wait till 2024 January. That would be good. But before you know it, that 2024 will come. And another thing you'll be battling with. Now, you won't even have time to even think about product management or transitioning, you know. So that is why it is good to make A when the sun still shines. Especially when you have someone or a company that is ready to walk the walk with you. When you have a company that is ready to go on the journey with you as well. When you have a company that is, they are after your success as well, because your success is also our success at the end of the day. We find happiness in you securing a job. Why? Because we know someone is going to ask you, how did you do it? And then you're going to refer Learn with Pride. Oh, I did my training with Learn with Pride. They were so great. Try them out. That is the joy at the end of the day. You know? All right, enough of my talk. Let me quickly share the second one. The second one is a contract role. This was posted yesterday, 16 October, and you can see it's paying um from 450 to 500 a day. Let's just say it's 400 pounds a day. That is 8,000 pounds a month. They didn't state how many for how many months, but I'm guessing minimum will be 3 months, and they always renew. So imagine you getting 400 pounds a day, which is 8,000 per month, you know, for the next 1 year. Because after that 3 months, I'm sure they'll say, oh, we're renewing for another 2 months. Before you know it, you already spent 1 year collecting 80,000. 8,000 times 12. My math is bad, but I'm guessing that should be more than 120,000 we saw earlier on, you know? But you can only put yourself in the race when you know what it entails, when you know how to do the job, you know? So, all right, enough of my talk. The cost, let's go to the gritty, the most important. The cost for the training for the 4 months and the project is 799. But there's currently 30% discount on it. That is, if you want to pay twice, you get 30% discount. But there's a further discount, right? So if you are paying twice, you pay £560. That means you can start with half payment, and the other half can be paid within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. But if you want to take advantage of further reduction, then you can get it for £400. That is you saving another £160. But just that the £400 has to be a one-time payment. But that is you saving £160 compared to if you are paying twice. And the most funniest part is you just saw the job ad now, the contract one paying from 450 to 500 per day. So imagine you investing £400 or even 560 on yourself, for the next 4 months. That could become what you start earning per day after the program. You spend, you to get the knowledge, to get everything that is needed on the training, on the job, you spend £400 or you spend 560. After the program, you landed your first job as a contractor, that £400 might be what you start getting per day. It's a win-win situation. You can never go wrong. And I tell you, for people who have done their due diligence regarding this course, it's way more than this out there. It's shorter period and way more expensive. So there's no way you can go wrong with this. It's a win-win situation. This will be the best investment you can give to yourself in 2023. I tell you, which you will never regret. Some of us are reluctant when it comes to spending on ourselves. We work for this money. We want the change. We want a better life. All that is required is, a token to invest into that process and see the reward. If no, is it no sweat, no gain, or how do they put it? it's a minimum investment that you can give to yourself that will yield, a very high return for you at the end of the program. You can never go wrong with it. So for anyone who is interested, and so the cohort, sorry, 1 second. All right, so the next cohort will be starting on the 1st of November, right? And for that cohort, as it is now, we only have 10 slots left for the cohorts that will be starting on the 1st of November. So if you are interested, if you want to secure the slot, if you want to rewrite the story, if you are tired of working hard for the money, if you want to start working smart for your money, if you want to change the narrative, if you want to have the time for your family, if you want to have the time for other things that matters in your life, this is the best time to do so. If you are interested, the number on your screen will be the best one. The WhatsApp number on your screen will be the best number to contact if you want to enroll on the journey. Again, you can pay twice. Or if you want to get further discount, you can pay once. It all depends on you, on which one you want to go for. But for any questions, for any enrollment details, as I said, we only have 10 slots for the one that will be starting on the 1st of November. So please, you can save the number on your screen. You can save it on your phone or take a screenshot. That will be the best number for you to contact for any enrollment questions or for any other question, that relates to transitioning and, any other thing at all. All right. So for now, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to be inviting Nkiruka, who is going to be the facilitator for the next 4 months, if you are to come on the journey, to shed more light into the journey of a product manager, what it entails, and what other jobs, can you apply to as well after the end of this program. So without further ado, Nkiruka, I'm going to stop sharing. You can take it from here. Thanks. See you soon.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is, as Akin just said, my name is Nkiruka Achakpo Michelle. To give you a bit of insight as to who I am and my experience, I would simply say that I am currently a practicing product and project manager with over 4 years of experience in product and project management. And I have worked in industries like e-commerce, education, IT services, software as a service, and more. Just to give you a bit of explanation, e-commerce, those are your Paga, your Jumia, platforms like that. I've worked in education with the popular prep class, which is where you can easily get learners. I've worked in IT services with companies that get jobs and work on them for clients, and software as a service. That's where you can install APIs into your platform without having to develop the platform from scratch. So I have been opportunity to spread my tentacles and work in different places. Currently, to know a bit about me, I have successfully launched 5 products that are currently in the tech market between the African region and North American region, and also the European region. So I have had the opportunity to put my hand and dabble into different places while being based in Lagos, Nigeria, because I am based in Lagos, Nigeria. I have also dealt with maintaining currently active platforms in these locations. I have a degree, a BSc degree in banking and finance. So you would definitely have thought I would have gone the line of banking, but I transitioned, as Akin kept mentioning. Transitioning is very key. And I did that. I transitioned. And actually, before I even took the step, I went to the path of customer care. And from customer care, I was able to then transition into tech. Currently, I am the product manager of my event pod. My event pod is a company that I will basically seed funded the idea, not seed funded, more like ideated the idea, and it has launched. Currently, it is launched in New York, Washington, D.C., Miami. And I'm so excited to be the one to take on this course. As Aki mentioned, being here and having the opportunity to work in those regions while being in Lagos has been so exciting. And I hope to draw your interest into what exciting things product management has to offer you. Okay, so what is product management? Let me see if I can close this. Okay, perfect. So what is product management? So product management, as this image here shows, is basically strategy, development, marketing. Strategy in the sense of you are ideating, you are planning, you are organizing it, and then you are handing it over to the tech people, that's your developers, your coders, to take your idea and make it something that can be used by people. And once they have your perfect product, your suitable products ready, you then market it and get people to use your product. So basically, it is a process of planning, developing, launching, and also managing a product or service. Once you launch, you don't just leave it in the market to just play around. You manage it, you work on it, you put in efforts to improve it, because improvement means more users. When Facebook launched with less than, say, 100,000 users. But currently, Facebook has billions of users. It's because at each turn, they go through upgrades. You get a notification from your Play Store telling you that this platform has been upgraded. That process of upgrading was started by a team of product managers who thought about, oh, what cool feature can we add to make people want to stay on our platform? The person that takes on this duty is called a product manager. Now, a product manager is someone that looks at a solution and tries to more like identifies a problem and then tries to proffer a solution. Once you've been able to think of this solution, your process of taking that thing from an idea to something that can be physically used is product management. And as far as whatever you're developing is in line with your organization's main objective, their larger business objective, then you are doing the work properly. Basically, once you have your idea, you're mobilizing all the resources to transform your idea to a practical solution, as I just said, that users can then take to fix whatever problem you have. So say, for example, Spotify. Spotify sat down and thought, there are music apps out there. There was Apple Music, there was Audiomack, there were platforms, but then it was difficult for people to access music at a cheap rate. They wanted to create a seamless platform that people could then access to get quality, clear music at very cheap rates and have access to brand new albums when it is dropping across the world without breaking, as I said, the bank. That process of taking it from an idea to what you now use on your phone, called Spotify, an app, is product management. And you don't work alone. You work with an army. Your product management process is working with an army. You're working with designers. You're working with developers. You're working with the board of management. You're working with your operation teams people. That's your sales, your customer care, your in-house management, that's the legal department, the accounting department, the finance department, everybody managing all those resources to get a product that will bring profit is product management. We'll learn more about that in the course of the program. So product management suddenly became like this sensation. But where did it come from? Product management can be, its sources or its history can be tracked down to a Mr. Neil H. McElroy, who wrote a memo that today is the foundation of product management. Neil was working at P&G, and he wanted his team or his company to hire more people. He needed to explain, why do I need these people? Why should my company spend money for these people? And what benefits will these people bring to the company? He called these people brand men, and the memo was basically 800 words. What he simply said was, the brand man is somebody that their sole responsibility was owning the brand. The way you have a CEO, and the CEO's job is to own the whole company. But because a CEO is divided by different activities in the company, most times he has to outsource the management of his different products to people. Neil H. McElroy then suggested that those people should be called the brand men. Overall, the brand man ethos was understood to mean that the product's decision-making process should be as close to the customer as possible, making the brand man, aka your product manager, the voice of the customer on the product. It's one thing to spend money developing an idea, but if your idea, even though it's aligned with the company's initiative, if your idea is not tied to anything that a customer currently needs, you have just spent money on a product that nobody needs and becomes a waste, and that's a loss, and that's bad on you as a product manager. In the end, Neil was able to get his hires, and drastically, he was able to change the culture of P&G, because they found out that instead of the CEO having to manage the full company as well as what they sell, they could outsource these things to the brand men. And the brand man's role is to find out what are the needs the customer is currently facing, and how do we as a company, matching our business objectives, fulfill this need. That way, they became a brand-centric organization, and it led to the birth of product managers in fast-moving consumer goods field. That's your physical hardware goods, things like your bread, things like your tea. Yes, you can be a product manager in a physical environment where they deal with physical goods, and you can be a product manager in your software environment where you deal with software items. To be in the physical environment, there might be desire for engineering and all of that, but it stemmed, where we stemmed from was from being a part of the engineering world. This brand man ethos was so successful that it went on to inspire Bill Hewlett and David Packard of HP, you know, your HP computers, and then Taiichi Ohno and Eiji Toyoda of Toyota Motors, who then took these ideas and implemented them into their company. As times changed, so did the world of product management. Tech became popular. Product development became center in tech, unlike in the manufacturing field. And then the Agile Manifesto was created as a way to manage products. So you've heard of Agile management, Agile product management. Agile was now like a upgraded version of Neil H. McElroy's memo. Simply stated, 17 software engineers in 2001 were on a vacation at a ski resort. And then they looked at all the different things they had worked on in their industry. And as they looked at it, they found out that the way they were doing things before, which is the waterfall method, we'll talk about that more when we go into the course, was not making things easy for them. And they needed a quicker way to tackle this issue. And at the end of the day, they came up with what we know as Agile product management. The manifesto was completed, it was taken back to their offices, and the rest is history. It's been upgraded on, each company has made their own tweak and touches to make it the product management that it is today. when we start the course, we'll look more into the whole processing of how the Agile Manifesto was formed, and then what decisions were made and how it has been changed today. Now, product management, you ask yourself, what career paths will be open to me? To get more information about that, I have an illustration here to show you if you choose to toe the direct line of product management, what careers will be open to you. Now, as an associate product manager, you don't need to have any experience. That's 0 to 2 years experience. And as an APM in the United States, their average salary is $80,000 per year. So as Akin mentioned, it is very important that you put in effort, because if you have one good product that you can put in a proposal and attach to your CV, and then you can take that to an interview, that can open your door into product management with $80,000 a year as pay. Now, you can now be called a product manager after 2 to 5 years of experience. So with more experience, your money increases. So as a product manager, just like the job role that was shown before, you are open to $112,000 per year as your average salary, being a product manager that has only worked 2 to 5 years. When you leave the 2 to 5 years and you come to this, you have your senior product manager. Now, why you see that product manager and senior product manager shared about the same amount of years is simply because you can be a product manager that has not worked on a lot of products, so you're still here. You can be a senior product manager who has been opportune to work at a software as a service company. And that means you have worked on, say, 7 products in under 2 years. You are technically now a senior product manager. So the amount of work you've done tells on the scale to which you stand on the product manager hierarchy. And as a senior product manager, you can earn an average of $146,000 a year. When you become a product leader, that's where you are now heading a team of varying product managers. That's where you're working in, say, a company like Meta, who has product managers for each region, and you are the head leader of that region. You have 5 to 10 years of experience, and you are open to a salary, or you are eligible to earn $170,000 per year on an average as a product leader. Lastly, the director. That's the ultimate position you can touch in the product management hierarchy. That's 10 years and counting. And that you are eligible for $175,000 per annum and more. And as Akin mentioned, this is a job where you can do multiple jobs in a period. Currently, I am the product manager for my event pod, but I am also working on a charities. I'm acting as the product manager for a charity called Elite Gen. I am also trying to also develop my own products. Things like this is something, so I am currently doing about 3 gigs while efficiently closing at 5 o'clock. Also, because the product management course is so big, we would learn things about design. And because you would learn things about design, your knowledge of products management and your design knowledge would give you the access to opportunities under product designer. You would also learn the Scrum Mastery process. It is important that as a product manager, you fully understand all activities that are performed on your product. And that's why some companies will say, oh, they would like you to know how to code, because you are expected to have actual knowledge of the full engineering process that you are bringing on. And we would learn about this in the course of the program. So Scrum, you can be a Scrum Master, you can be the owner of the product, You can be a UX researcher. You can be a UI UX designer. You can be a product specialist. You can be a technical writer. You can be a marketing manager, a growth product marketing manager, and a product analytics manager or an SEO manager. So there's a lot that is attached to what you can do as a product manager. Now, what do you expect from the product management course that I will be taking? It's going to be, as we said, a 4 months course. And I have been able to break down this 4 months into 8 key topics that we will touch on. The first thing is we'll look at introduction to product management. So you will get familiar with the terms that will be used in the course of the program. Then we'll find out what is that relationship between product management and the company. How do they relate? How do they work? Once we are able to get familiar with that, then we will now together begin to work on the different steps a product takes from ideation to launch. So you have your ideation, your product definition phase, you have your design a product, your development, your launch, and then we'll do a full course review. We would also make use of tools like Figma, Jira, Trello, Excel, presentation, the Plot.io, Google Docs. Now, Plot.io is a storyboarding tool. You'll find out how the storyboarding process works. It promises to be an exciting course, and I am so excited to see everyone that signs up come 1st of November. So I'm going to pass back now to Aki, and then we can start the question and answer phase. I will stop sharing my screen now.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Luca. So if you have any questions, please, I believe this is the time to please raise your hand and I'll be calling you shortly. So please, we are on this platform to rub minds together, right? So please kindly raise your hand if you have any questions. Also, you can drop your questions on the chat. I'll be reading them from the chat as well. So yeah, again, just to go back on what I said earlier, the start date for this will be 1st of November. We have 10 slots left, but I want to do something actually for anyone that wants to enroll before end of day tomorrow. I want to do something. So for anyone that wants to enroll before end of day tomorrow, I want to do something. So the actual price again is $7.99. Again, for anyone that wants to pay twice, there's a 30% discount on it. That will make you £560. So for this amount, you can pay twice. You can start with half payment and the other half can be paid after 6 to 8 weeks. But I made mention earlier on that if you want to pay once, you can pay £400. That is an additional £160 reduction or savings, so to say. But what I want to do for anyone that wants to take a further advantage of what I'm about to do now is for anyone that wants to enroll between now and end of tomorrow, and you are paying once, you get it for £350. So for anyone that wants to enroll between now and tomorrow night, you actually get it for £350. So that is it. So, all right. So for any question, please kindly raise your hand. I'll go through the chat now. I need people to actually raise their hand and talk to me. All right, Mitchell, I think this question is for you from Patrick, Director of Product versus CEO. Any explanation?
All right. So now, according to the ethos behind product management, a product is treated as a separate entity that has a relationship with the company. So the CEO is in charge of everything with regards to the company. The director of product is focused on the company that is the product. So say I am developing an app like RiseVest. My duty as a director of product is, can they log into the RiseVest app? How is it working? Are they enjoying their experience? How does that concern strictly my product? And are they happy with their usage of my product? The CEO is more worried about how much money am I making for the company, or how much money is my company making? How do I go about sourcing funds to make my company grow? Things that a CEO normally is bothered about. Is the product, director of product does not have that concern. Their concern is all the different products that are under me. How do I handle them? Okay. I hope that clarifies that.
Yeah, thanks for that. Another question for you. What's the difference between project management and product management?
All right. So project management is more holistic. Product management can be sort of looked at as a streamlined version of project management. Project management is broad. It is the same ethos. So there are companies that conflate the two in the sense that you, as far as you are a product manager, you can be a project manager. So they kind of do the same thing. And that is why I said you can actually work as a project/product manager. But a project manager might now look at things more from a overall review, in the sense of, okay, a project manager would tend to deal with HR responsibilities. That means the hirings. Who am I hiring to place here? A project manager can begin to look at, say, extreme budgeting. How much salary are we paying people? Theirs is more overall looking. And a product manager is just ensuring that, okay, I was assigned 3 developers, 2 designers, 1 UX researcher. How am I going to make use of these particular instruments that were given to me and the budget that was approved for me, and ensure that it is well used within developing my idea for the issue I have identified. Okay. So the difference is not really much because their roles tend to clash, but a project manager is more in the sense of, say, a CEO kind of position without the CEO, when the CEO is too far in the sense of your big Fortune 500 companies, your project manager more or less plays the role of CEO, and then the product manager plays the role of CEO of the product. It gets a bit confusing, but when we're in the course, we'll be able to sort of look into that better and clarify that issue. Okay.
Thanks, Nkiruka. Another
Okay.
question from Shola. What is the correlation or difference between a product designer, product manager, product analyst, or product director? Are they under the same training course or different?
So product management is these product designer, product manager, product analyst, and product director, yes, all fall under product management. As a designer, you are in charge of the design section of the project. That's where you are designing on Figma, how this screen will look, how will this screen, when it clicks here, will relate to this screen. That's a designer. For your manager, you manage the product from beginning to end to marketing. A designer most of the time doesn't have to be bothered about marketing. Theirs is just ensuring that, okay, this is what was communicated, that this is what they are facing, and this is the kind of design they have. I, as a designer, how will I interpret what they want into screens that I can then send to the development team to work on? A product manager more like does all these parts. That's the ideates down to the marketing. An analyst is when you have now launched your product and you are now looking at the performance of the product. What is the conversion? How does it match a success matrix? And a director is, well, directing in the sense that the director really just plays a approval role, a observer and an approval role. The main person that gets into the depth is the product manager. So you might not see positions for, say, a director and an analyst, because it's expected that you compress all this experience into product management, and it is part of our course. So you would know how to read numbers to understand whether your product is doing well, observe to ensure that your product, what you want for your product, is actually what you're getting in the development phase. Design your product in the sense that the designer that was given to you is actually following your idea to a T. And you would learn all of that under this course. So they are all under the same course. Okay.
Thanks, Michelle. ICOM Institute. You can unmute yourself and ask your question now.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, madam.
Good evening.
Let me verify. I hope you can get me.
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Okay. Thank you. I have good knowledge on project management already, and I really find this product management interesting. And I've not taken time because I didn't prepare for this session. I could have tried to look at maybe what I need to know before I can effectively take this course. So what do I need? Any particular background, let's say mathematics, statistics, and so on, to be effective in taking this?
Absolutely not. So why product management? I always suggest product management for people that are just trying to break into tech. Is it is so no coded. You don't need to actually know how to put the code, body, brackets, all those things that they do, hypertext and all of that. Just understand that, okay, this thing, this is how this is supposed to work. So as a product manager, let me give you an instance now. I want to be able to log in. I don't need to understand how the different code is working in the backend. All I know that is when it's time for me to test, and you have told me that, okay, I can log in now. You have sent me a link to use to log in. My experience shows that I could actually log in. Coding, knowing how the code is working at the back end, is not something that you as a product manager needs to concern yourself. You're just supposed to ensure that you could actually log in. So what you wanted, you could achieve it, and you could achieve it in prompt time. Not that you were trying to log in and use 20 minutes to actually log you in. Do you understand? So you don't necessarily need to know the code that is working in the back of the platform, but just ensure that whatever is being given to you as by the engineering team as, okay, this is completed work, is actually what you want the platform to do. It is not in the process of logging in, taking you to Instagram. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. Again, please, I'd like to hear from people, because the session is actually to share knowledge, and we can do so by if we rub minds together. So please raise your hand and I'll call you to ask your question as well. You don't have to be shy. I want to hear your voice, so talk to me. Quickly, from Michael, I think you've partially answered this question. Michelle, must I know coding? I heard something about knowing how to code to be Scrum Master. I can tell you answer to that is actually no. But Michelle, over to you.
Yeah, you do not actually need to know how to code to be a Scrum Master. Actually, what I'll tell you, a key skill that you might need is knowing how to plan. If you know how to plan to ensure that, okay, this is how this work should be done this week, and you can plan properly, then being a Scrum Master is pretty laissez-faire post that point. And we would look at how the Scrum Master works in this course. So you would actually see that it doesn't really require coding at all. Okay.
thanks for that. Ayo Paul, you can unmute yourself and ask your question now. Ayo.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. Well done. I've been a member that I've been listening to some of the past classes, and I'm intrigued to always learn what Mr. Akin always put up. Fantastic job. Thank you for your interest to get us into this tech system. I have good knowledge of project management, and it keeps sounding to me in all of these that products, Scrum, testing, they all still evolve under project management. Now, I want to ask, will it be okay to spend more time going for project management and then still, easily get understanding in all of these areas that falls under the management of projects, project managers, or or shall I just pick all of these one after the other and still learn more around each of them? I need clarification on that.
Before I actually hand it over to Michelle, are you referring to all the different job roles that she shared earlier on?
Yes, because she spoke about the penultimate question. She spoke about the role of Scrum Master and also product manager to be more of a coordination under project manager. So it sounds to me like the project manager will have an idea or some understanding of product management, Scrum management, testing as they were from the details and from other explanations that she has given, because I can see it, she was touching base on all these areas, even while she was speaking on product management as an experience.
All right. Michelle, over to you.
Okay, so yes, as a project manager, you are a bit familiar with some of the concepts that we will face in product management. But let's say, for example, medicine. So the medicine degree, it's holistic, right? It encompasses your plastic surgery, your cardiology, your pediatric surgery, and all the different sections. That's a sort of what product management is to project management. Now, project management is more on the peripheral. It just hovers with regards to ensuring that, okay, they said I'm supposed to do this. This is the timeline I was told I need to do this. My role as a project manager is ensure that whatever resource and timeline I was given, that's a project manager, I am meeting it. And then at the end, I shall give them something, right? Now, a product manager is not looking at this as, okay, I'm just trying to satisfy the company. A product manager, as I did explain before, is the voice of the customer in the platform. So the product manager is coming in this from the standpoint of the customer's voice, the customer's expectation, what the customer will need. I, as a product manager, I am working hand in hand with what somebody I identify or a particular audience member I identify, and I decide that, okay, this will be my custom user. And then I use that custom user to determine how, okay, my custom user has an access to this thing we have designed. Are they happy with the way it is behaving? Would they want it to behave differently? What kind of idea, what kind of solution can I give them that they would be happy with this solution and pick this solution over other solutions? Okay. So why most people would rather do products and not projects is because a project manager's main concern is satisfying the organization and the expectations of the organization in the end. But a product manager, your joy comes from seeing people use your platform, seeing your platform gain conversions, seeing interaction with your platform, and building it to great levels or greater heights. So, for example, let me just end this up. As a product manager, the person that say made Facebook is confidently going to put in their portfolio Facebook with caps lock as product manager, because this was something that they ideated and they developed. Or I came up with Google this, Google Pixel, or Google Sheets, or Google presentation. That feature that you know that people are using and people are enjoying themselves. As a product manager, your duty is to identify that, okay, people needed this thing. And then I came up with this idea and I monitored them and they delivered this thing called a product. And now people can use it and they are happy with their experience. So that really is the difference between both parts. And if client satisfaction has always been something that you have had an interest in, or not just client satisfaction, but if having your name attached to something that is actually being used out there in society is something that you have always thought of doing, then product management is something you should look into. It's no code. You have your project management knowledge, and you can easily combine that to then get familiar with these terms and these concepts and come up with something that you know that in the future, when someone is on their phone pressing an app, you feel confident that that is actually your work that they are using. Okay? From ideation to launch.
Yeah, Ayo, hopefully I don't know whether that has answered your question. If it has, you can drop maybe a comment on the chat, or if not, you can raise your hand again and I'll call you to ask your further question. Quickly, Michelle, this is for you again. What's the difference between product manager and business analyst?
So as I've said, a product manager is more, okay, to just make things simpler, a product manager is more or less an inventor. You're an inventor. You had an idea. You had a company. You found out that this your idea would work for this company's current issue, and you took your idea into something that people can use. Do you understand? And then your role is now to ensure that you have not wasted, now that the company has invested in your idea and your idea is outside, your role is to ensure that it is actually being used. People are enjoying their experience. People are not just installing and deleting. People are enjoying their experience and having the time of their lives on it. A business analyst, on the other hand, is more or less looking at the figures and how to move resources around to ensure that the company is within profits. And yes, it is a function of product management, because you are to ensure that the money that was spent is benefiting the company in the end, whatever you have put out there as a product. But with a product manager, you actually come up with the solution. A business analyst does not necessarily come up with the solution. They sort of prefer, okay, I noticed that here wasn't working well. Why don't we do this, this, this? A product manager is, oh, Jane wants to be able to download or wants to be able to read her emails from her phone. Jane is tired of using her laptop. How do we, as a company that offers email services, incorporate that to make Jane's life easier? Let's make an app. That is the start. You are ideating, and then you're taking it all the way. So now Jane can now open her phone and read her app, read her email from her phone in miles away. That's your product management work. I hope that helps with that question.
Thanks, Michelle. Michael, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Michael Yakubu.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening. Thanks, Michelle. You've been really exposing needs a lot. So I just need the clarification on the concept of being a UX researcher and this product management, because from what you're saying, we as a product manager, your stance is towards the customer's interest, and as a UX researcher also, you have to like look at things from the customer's perspective. So I would like to have like a clarification on that. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, product management is also a function of UX research in the sense that, so going back to the Jane example, I just assumed that someone like Jane wants to be able to use an email through her phone, but I don't have actual backing evidence to say I am sure now that yes, this is something that people, our customers, actually need. That's where UX research rises up in the product management process. And that's why I said you can actually have a UX researcher assigned to you as a tool when creating a product. The UX researcher then takes this your idea and goes out to ask our prospective customers, that's our current customers, the customers that we wish we had, goes about asking them, what if we'd created an app that you could use to read your email? Would you use it? What would you want it to have? How would you want it to work? Their research is then brought back. And with that research, we can fine-tune this idea. Because all I have as a PM before resources are assigned to me is an idea. And it can be a great idea, but if it is not validated through research, that is all it is, an idea. And it can end up being a bad investment because we might now spend money and find out that this is not what people actually needed us to focus on. So the role of the UX researcher in the product management process is really validation, ensuring that I am assuming that this is what the customer needs. The UX researcher is ensuring and confirming that my assumptions are actually correct and resource should be spent on this idea. Because if we do this, people would actually use it. So that really is the tie between the two of them. And they do work hand in hand. And you as a product manager will also do part of the UX researching. Because as the person is compiling results and looking at what is said by the prospective customers, you are there as well, looking at it to get a clear view before the final report even comes out of how your idea will be received. Okay? Does that answer your question?
I believe so. It's back on mute. Thanks for that. I believe you've answered this question previously. What pre-knowledge do I need to qualify for this course? Do I need math, statistics? I think you've answered that from ICOM Institute. You don't need math or statistics. All right. Okay. Can someone learn this without access to the course? Because the payment is quite huge. I don't get that. Without having access to the course, can you learn it? I'm sure you. Yeah, go on.
It's difficult to do that, honestly, because there's something about learning with someone that actually is able to review your work, and then be hands-on with it to be sure that you are actually using the practices properly. There are so many places that will show you can teach you product management in 1 month. But the thing with product management is if your foundation is not well set, if you're not well guided and you go off on your own, you will find yourself in an office where concepts are flying helter-skelter and you're confused because the person that was trying to teach you in 1 month is just trying to blaze through as many familiar concepts as possible. Here, because of the physical, not the physical, more like the hands-on experience you get learning in a group and building as a group a particular idea. So what we are intend for us to do with this course is take a problem, we'll now together come up with a solution, and then throughout the course from ideation to launch, develop that idea to when we are ready to launch it. that experience you won't get of reading through anybody else, because the person is not able to provide prompt feedback and guide you properly with the right tools. So it's very risky to learn a course like product management of just random platforms. It's not coding that is one shoe kind of fits all. Okay.
Yeah,
I hope that
thanks.
clears that.
Yeah, thanks for that. Chinese, a number, I don't know whether you're still online. The conversion rate is £1 to 1,200 naira. If you want to take advantage of the reduction in price, so yeah, so £1 to 1,200 naira. All right. Shola, what do I stand to gain in and after training process, and when next is the webinar? The next one will be next year. So this is the last one we are having for this year. What do you stand to gain? I highlighted the benefit earlier on. Maybe you joined late. So you get the practical training, which is for 4 months. You get to work on a live project for another 2 months. The 2 months project can be within the 4 months duration or after the 4 months. But you can be rest assured that you'll be working on a project for another 2 months. You get the mentorship, which is very key, and support when you are transitioning. So you get the mentorship, you get the support, you get the interview preparation, because we want you to get the job. So we do interview prep with you as well. Also, all our courses are CPD accredited, meaning they meet the professional standard. And the certificate that you get at the end of the program is recognized in over 60 countries, in US, Canada, Australia, Nigeria, Ghana, in over 60 countries, it is recognized. And finally, we give you a work reference for the duration you are with us, because you'll be working on a project. So yes, we'll be giving you a reference so that when you start applying for jobs, you can use us as one of the companies you've worked with, and we'll give you a reference for that as well. So that is what you get. What is the other question? And when is the next webinar? So as I said, the next webinar will be possibly next year. The year is running to an end already. So before we have another cohort, that will be next year. And we have the webinar just before we start the actual training. Like now, the actual training will be starting on the 1st of November, like 2 weeks time. So yes, the next one will be next year by the special grace of God. All right, any final question from anyone? From anyone, you can raise your hand and I can call you, or you can drop your message. You can drop your message on the chat as well. So the classes are actually Mondays, Wednesday, and Friday. This is to Aji, Victoria. So the classes will run on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. That is to Victoria. Any other question from anyone? Again, do you offer consultancy service for other companies? You can chat me up on the number on your screen for better, how am I going to put it? This is to Patrick. Chat me up, Patrick, on the number on your screen. All right, just for the benefit of those who came in late, to get the recording, please go on our YouTube channel. You can follow us and click on the bell icon so that when we upload the recording tomorrow, you can be notified and you can rewatch it if you want to. And also, for those that wants to take advantage of the further reduction, the 24 hours further reduction for the price of $350 for the 4-month duration, you have until end of day tomorrow as well. If not, it will go back to, if you're paying once, £400. If you're paying twice, £560. I fully understand That is why we've tried as much as possible to make it as affordable as possible compared to our competitors out there. And as illustrated earlier on, the £400 or £350 that you want to invest in yourself for the next 4 months might be what you start earning on a daily basis after the 4 months program. So if I have this opportunity when I was transitioning, I won't spend most of my time maybe abroad doing odd jobs, if I was open to these such opportunities back then. So that is why, it is good to do your own due diligence. But you can be rest assured that this will be one of the cheapest that you can ever come across out there, with all the benefit that is attached to it as well. And as I said, also, it's a win-win situation for everyone. You can never go wrong with it. You just have to take the leap of faith and see where that takes you. And you will never regret it, as I said. All right, quick question. Any provision for extra classes for those who work the night shift and will likely miss some live classes? All right, so this is what we do. All our live sessions are recorded. So when you enroll with us, you'll be onboarded on our LMS platform. That is our learning management system. And after you've been enrolled on it, you can just log into your dashboard and watch any class, any of the classes that you missed. If you have any questions or something is not clear after you watch it, because it'll be added to a group as well, to a WhatsApp group, the facilitator will be on that group as well with other students on the course. You can ask your question on the group if you don't understand anything, or even one-on-one with the facilitator if you don't understand anything. So that is it. All sessions are recorded, and there's always a room for you to ask any question after going through the recording if you do not understand. That is to Ayopo. I hope that has answered your question. Again, for anything that you wish to ask, or maybe you remember later on, you can always message me on the WhatsApp number on your screen. I'll be more than happy to respond to any message, whether enrollment or anything at all as regards transitioning. I'll be more than happy to give you an answer to that. Just message me. So that is why it's important for you to save the number or take a screenshot of the number. All right. Any final word from anyone, whether through by raising your hand or the last question on the charts before we draw the curtain for today? Ayopo. Yeah, we try. Maybe before the 1st of November, we might do that on Instagram Live. Yeah, we try to do, so we have a session that we just started recently, Career Motivation Hour. So yeah, we might be discussing that maybe on the IG before the 1st of November as well. All right. No other question. Again, thanks for your time. The next cohort, we aim to start it on the 1st of November. It will be a 4-month duration for the practical training, and also you'll be involved on the live project for another 2 months as well. It will run 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesdays, Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. And for any enrollment details, you can message the number on your screen. Take the leap of faith, trust us, and let us go on the journey together. Let's walk the walk together and rewrite the story. You can work smart, I tell you. If I can do it, you can be rest assured anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. So that being said, thanks everyone for your time. Hopefully we're going to see some of you on the journey to rewrite that story. And till then, stay safe out there and have a good night rest. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye-bye.
Bye.